Ladies and gentlemen, how's it going? Dean Gornitis Unleash This Book Reviews, where I leave my window open and forget to close it. But now it's closed. Anyways, today I'm talking to you about a short story collection that I've recently read. Ray Bradbury's The Illustrated Man. The Illustrated Man. Even wrote up some notes for you again. How about that? Anyways, The Illustrated Man is a collection of 18 short stories by the famous sci-fi author Ray Bradbury, published in 1951. It explores a lot of the traditional science fiction type stuff, you know, advancements in technology and, exploring space and things like that, but with a very strong twist on the human perspective and the human psyche during these situations. One of Ray Bradbury's qualifying traits as an amazing author. Ray Bradbury is traditional in his work. Most of the time, Illustrated Man is no different here. Heavily rooted in plot. He's always been a storyteller, loves stories, and this is a collection of more such stories. So, I'll give you, 4 or 5 of my favorite pieces in here, a little bit of an idea on why they're my favorite. Obviously, anytime you collect 18 of something, some are probably going to be better than others. Let me look here at my list of choices. Yes. Okay, so the first story here that I've kind of been interested highly in looking back at is Kaleidoscope. And Kaleidoscope tells the story of a group of men who a spaceship has been damaged and they have to kind of evacuate, and they're falling through space towards different gravitational pulls, knowing that within an hour or two they're going to die. Great look into the human psyche and, in the face of imposing close to immediate death. Really well developed thought there. Another short story favorite of mine in the collection was The Long Rain, in which a group of people that have started inhabiting Venus have found themselves lost in nature, the wilderness of Venus, where it continually rains, nonstop, pouring rain, to the point that the human inhabitants on Venus have created sun domes, which they live in, which creates artificial light for them to feel happy. And these guys are stuck out in nature. Another psyche type story of what it would feel like to constantly be soaked by water for days, weeks on end. Great analysis looking on that. Another favorite short story collection of mine was Last Night of the World, in which the people on Earth realize that this is going to be their last day and their last night on Earth, and it details how they sort of spend that last night on Earth. Another great sort of look into the human psyche, and I will say that might not be what you expect. The Concrete Mixer kind of puts a twist on the alien invasion of Earth, and instead of there being some sort of all-out galaxy war, Americans are glad to have the Martians on Earth, even though the Martians were coming in with the plans to attack. And you can read the story and find out why. Another great sort of thought-provoking piece there. Lastly, one of my favorites was The Rocket, which kind of takes a look at, say, the lower socio-economical, status type people. How would they react to sort of these advancements in technology and space exploration and stuff like that? And it tells the story of a group of children raised by a father who's just barely getting by, and how he treats them to the idea of going out into space and exploring and such. Great stuff. Side note, another short story in here, The Rocket Man. Yes, influenced Elton John's song, The Rocket Man. He read the short story and wanted to write a song about it. I should explain that the story is called The Illustrated Man because it is framed around the idea of a man who got these magical tattoos that tell stories. They actually move around his body and swirl and change, and people get absorbed and sucked in to seeing these stories. And so the 18th and final short story is The Illustrated Man. Kind of gives some more background information on The Illustrated Man, what happened to him. This wasn't originally included in the first editions of the copies, and for a long time actually. So depending on what copy you pick up, if you decide to read it, you may or may not kind of get this summary, this ending story of the Illustrated Man to kind of cap off. Either way, very interesting. I kind of wish Bradbury would have done more with the Illustrated Man, kind of in between little brief pauses to tell us, kind of keep us in that story frame. He kind of just starts it and ends the collection with just these two, you know, bookends. Doesn't give us a whole lot of the Illustrated Man in between, but other than that, very fun collection to read. I had a blast, really enjoyed it. One of the best sci-fi authors out there. I don't think you need to hear that from me. If you're interested in trying them out, you know, if you've read a few short stories before, this is a great collection. Highly recommended. Alright guys, I will talk to you guys soon. I don't really know you know what I got planned next, but it'll be there. Don't forget to subscribe above if you're a fan of what you see here. Don't forget to tell me below how much I suck at what I do, or stuff that you're reading and having fun with and things that you want to talk about, stuff like that. You can find me on Twitter at unleash_this, and I will be talking to you guys very soon. See you later.